97underground.com, Baltimore's pure rock.
Hi, this is Michael Spedden, 97underground.com, Baltimore's pure rock worldwide. Welcome to our YouTube page where you can find all of the national and local band interviews from my show, www.youtube.com/97underground, Michael Spedden. Remember, the Back of the Rack is now on every Monday from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern Time and on Wednesday from 2 to 4 a.m. Eastern Time for the replay. Download the free app from 97underground.com and listen anytime, anywhere. And hit that like and subscribe button and allow notifications so you'll know whenever a new episode launches. Enjoy the interview. Hey, folks, Michael Spedden here, Back of the Rack on 97underground.com. Today we sat down with Frank Slifka from the band The Almas. And I met Frank and The Almas a few weeks ago at Morseburger's Tavern over in Catonsville. They were performing that night as part of their tour. They were coming through town. They were with Reign of Z. That was another great band who we hope to have on soon. And I had a great time today talking to Frank about, because they're getting ready to tour again. And they're going to be coming through Baltimore again. I believe it's going to be at Zen West on August the 23rd. So you want to mark your calendar for that. These folks are definitely well worth seeing. So make sure that you get out and catch them at Zen West when they come through again. So remember, the Back of the Rack is now on Mondays from 2 to 4 p.m. on 97underground.com, Baltimore's pure rock worldwide. Don't forget to download the free app so you can listen to us anytime, anywhere. And don't forget my YouTube page, where all of the Back of the Rack interviews are archived. YouTube.com/@97underground, Michael Spedden. Hit that like and subscribe button and tell all your friends. Now, enjoy our interview with Frank Slifka. And welcome back to the Back of the Rack, the Michael Spedden Show here on 97underground.com, Baltimore's pure rock worldwide. And we are here with Frank Slifka of The Almas. The Almas blew the doors off of Morseburger's Tavern a few weeks ago on their tour. They were out with Reign of Z, and they did one hell of a set at Morseburger's the other week. They were kind of wrapping down their tour, and the band sounded great, and we've been playing some of their material on my show and on the station at large, too. So, hey, Frank, we're glad to finally get a chance to sit down and talk and everything. Great to see you.
Thank you for having me on, Mike. I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming out to the show, man. That was great seeing you and actually getting to meet you in person. I know we talked over the phone earlier. But yeah, it was really nice to meet you, man.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. It's always great to see, we got great bands out there touring, putting out great material. And that was a heck of a show you put on that night, too. I mean, I really enjoyed the set, and your, partners in crime there, Reign of Z. But we'll have them. They're a separate interview. We'll have them on later.
Yeah, they're right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. So I only got to catch you at the tail end of your tour. Overall, how did that tour go for you?
Can you repeat the question again? Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I only caught the tail end of the tour.
Oh, yeah.
How did the rest of the tour go for you?
Oh, the rest of the tour was great. It turned out real good. This tour, we had like some of the best turnouts we've ever had on tour. Us being an independent band, kind of doing it the old school way. It takes a while to build a fan base, but this tour, like I said, a lot of people showed up, came out. The tour prior, we were hinting that we were going to be playing a lot of new music on this upcoming tour that we did. And so I think a lot of people came out too because they want to hear the new songs and stuff like that. But it turned out real good.
Right. And you do have a bit of a following in this area here too. I wasn't real familiar with you at all, but I had mentioned that I was going to the Almas show, and people were like, "I love the Almas," So, hey, you're expanding your reach,
Yeah.
and you're
little
doing
by
it.
little.
You're doing it on your own merits too. You're getting out and playing your own stuff, and people are digging it. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
I can't complain. Not going to complain at all.
Right. And so you came down here. You're originally from Wisconsin. And are there any particular areas of the country that you really enjoy touring in? Or do you like the East? Do you like the West? I mean, do you do different? Now, a lot of times people do differently in different areas. People like different parts of the band, or like different things about the band, or different songs.
Right.
Are you finding differences?
I like the East. The East has grown on me. I like traveling out west because it's beautiful. and
Hmm.
everything. But there's really not a lot out there. you know,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know, the states are big, the drives are long. Um, I've just taken a liking to the east,
yeah.
the east side of the country a lot. I like the trees and everything. There's a lot of pine trees out west.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It
Yeah,
is. I've been out west before, and
yeah,
again, the cities are so far apart out there.
yeah, yeah,
In the east, there's a city like every 50 miles.
exactly.
You
So
can't.
yeah, when it comes to touring, I love these because this everything's closer, the drives are shorter, you can cover
Mhm.
a lot of ground real fast. Uh, yeah, the East is beautiful too, the Smoky Mountains and all that. Yeah, and they're not as, I don't want to say treacherous as the Rockies, but the Rockies are big
Mhm.
and they're hard to cross. The Appalachians and all that, it's not too bad. So
I'm sure it is, and and the thing is too, it's like when you're traveling in a band, you're not always driving the most like svelte vehicles either. You're probably
exactly. So yeah,
getting all
um,
your gear up those hills and everything. Like, oh my,
exactly. Yeah. Um, Yeah, so like I said, driving out east and all that's good, but I also like the South too. We have, Alabama. Surprisingly, we have a good fan base in Alabama,
Hmm.
Mississippi too. So yeah, I like going to those specific states just because we have a lot of fans there, a lot of friends too. So we like hanging with them
And
there.
there are a lot more entertainment capitals in the country now than there
Mm,
were even back when I was playing in bands too. I mean,
yeah,
years ago, there was only really New York and LA.
sure.
Nowadays, there's, Nashville is really popping up. I mean, Nashville
Oh
was
yeah.
always big for country, but now there's other genres and other
Oh
arts
yeah.
there too, as far as like movies and things like that. And
Hmm. Yeah, we
Austin,
yeah,
Atlanta,
Boston.
you know.
Hmm. Yeah, we actually record in Nashville, so we do. There are a lot of hard rock producers are down there.
Mm.
So yeah, we do that in Nashville. But yeah, no, Nashville's popping for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's insane how much music. If you go down Broadway down there,
Mhm.
have you been down Broadway in Nashville?
I've been on
The
Broadway in
ma-
New York,
okay,
not
so they have
performing, but there,
yeah, they had a Broadway in Nashville,
Hmm.
and basically I want to say it's like 4 or 5 blocks of bars, and these bars are probably 3 or 4 stories, right?
Oh yeah.
Every damn level has got a band playing, and
Mm.
every single bar down this street. It's insane. It is absolutely insane.
And
Yeah.
it's good too that in cities like that too, the people have an appreciation for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're going in there and and especially when you're bringing your own stuff, and if you're going into uncharted territory before, it's always a big risk. But
Oh yeah.
I found like in New York and even years ago too in Washington D.C., people were very, very, very open to something new, something off the beaten path, something
Yep.
that, that was not like everybody else,
Yep.
you know.
Absolutely.
And it's great when you find an atmosphere like that, because you can really go and, it's not like you're stuck in one area where people just like one thing, there's
Right,
all kinds of
exactly.
things. Well,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
that,
Our music does, like I said, does pretty well in the South, It's
mhm.
rock, you
Yeah.
know. It's I wouldn't say it's folky either, but we have folky elements in lyrics and stuff. And
Mhm.
people down south really like our stuff.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they do, and you do have a good mix of things. I was listening to your set and everything, and you do have a good mix of different influences throughout the music that you were
Yeah.
playing that night. It was really well done and everything. So tell me about your other band members too. We know you are the guitar maestro of the band, and
Yeah.
you
Uh,
have and the other members too. I see on your website your official band picture. There's three, but now you've got a
yes.
fourth member.
Yeah. So right now, we lost our drummer left about a year or so ago.
I
And so
see.
we've been
Yeah.
we've just been hiring some people on. Right now, the drummer's Kevin Raslog. He's in another band called Poet the Band. He's
Mm-hmm.
pretty much filling in and playing for us this entire year.
Uh-huh.
But things are going great with him. So he's an awesome dude. He's super up on the social media and stuff and the TikToks and all that crap, which I absolutely hate. So for him to get to kind of push us to do that, that's
Mm-hmm.
awesome. So I love working with him.
It's a
Uh,
full-time job in itself, isn't it?
it it is, it is,
It's
and it's just you have to be in the habit of recording content, putting it
mm-hmm.
together, putting it out, and Yeah, it's a little daunting. It's like I never thought of doing that as a musician, you know.
Right, right,
It's not
right.
what I signed up for, but that's how the game's played.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, so there's Kevin Raslog on drums right now. Crystal Teglin, which is the lead singer, and my
Hmm.
girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. So she's been with the band since late 2017, early 2018 is when she joined. So she's
Oh,
been
okay. So
yeah.
a good long history there. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And then Josh Sikowski, the rhythm guitarist, he he's been around since 2017, I
Okay.
believe, as well. He took a slight hiatus from the band and since come back.
Mhm.
But yeah, so that's those two. And then we don't have a bassist because we track the bass.
Right, 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 right. Yeah, well, some people do that nowadays too, but
Yeah,
you've got a good unit. I mean, you guys have been working together for a long time. You know how you write together, you work well doing that.
exactly. Yeah.
So, a good solid lineup and everything. I hope you get the right person, who's going to be, I guess, your permanent addition.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're not opposed to finding a permanent bassist or,
Mhm.
obviously a permanent drummer. But
Right.
it's right now it's really easy to tour with just four people.
That's it.
Adding a fifth person is kind of hard.
Oh
That's
yeah, yeah.
space and yeah. So
I remember being out on the road years ago, and our mode of transportation was like a rider truck. So we were like John Candy in Home Alone with the polka guys in the back of it. You remember that?
no,
Yeah, yeah.
wow, that's awesome.
We would take it to New York and everything. We'd have like, 15, 20 people that wanted to go. And we'd have couches in the back of the rider truck along with our gear.
Oh my
And,
gosh.
it's a miracle that when we got to New York City, everybody wasn't dead of carbon monoxide poisoning or something, or we didn't get,
Wow.
or if it was nowadays, they probably would have stopped the truck and looked inside and thought we were human trafficking or something,
Right,
it's,
exactly.
yeah, but it's called paying your dues,
Yeah,
it's called paying your
absolutely.
dues. That's how we got to New York, and DC was a little, again, being from Baltimore, DC was only about 40 minutes away, so that
Yeah.
wasn't bad, but New York was a different ball game. And yeah, that
Hmm.
was crazy. Have you done New York City?
Yep, we played. Yep, we played in the Bronx. Yeah, we played New York City about three times, I think now, and it's tough, man. We have a converted shuttle bus and a trailer, and bringing that in there is absolute hell.
It's insane. It is.
Yeah,
It
and the
really
clubs,
is.
and we don't have too big of a following there because we don't go there that often. So the clubs we play are really really small, and they're
Yeah, yeah.
downstairs. Yeah, the last time we couldn't even bring down amplifiers, nothing. We had to use our modelers, and yeah, it was
Hmm.
it was tough the last time. I think I parked like 5 blocks away.
Yeah, yeah. It
It
is.
was
It
it's
is.
tough, man. It's not an easy scene.
It's not at all. It's not like you're out in the suburbs and there's a parking lot that you can pull into behind the club and go in that
Right?
way.
Yeah,
Everything is
nothing.
crammed together.
Mm-hmm.
Probably in a building that was never meant to be a nightclub.
No,
If you think
exactly.
about it.
Yeah, it's downstairs where they kept the beer kegs years ago. That's where you're playing.
Oh, I know, I know. And then the other thing too about up there is the fact that when you're driving that, it's an old city.
Mm-hmm.
So, they don't always have the best signage up there. And a lot of times if there's your ramp, whoops, and
Yeah, then
there's the
you're
ramp you're
stuck
supposed to
circling
take.
for the next 45 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, I know. It's brutal. It's
Yeah.
brutal, man. It's that's whenever I go up there for an audition or for a performance or when I'm filming or something up there, I
Mhm.
just take a train. I'm like, forget it.
Smart. Yeah. We
Yeah.
yeah, we were trying to figure out like the best ways to do it. I don't know. Just with the rig we have, it's rather difficult. We thought about, just because some of the clubs have the drum kits down in the club already. So,
Right,
if
right.
we figure, well, if we
Hmm.
find a local, we'll just ask if we can use their cymbals and stuff.
Hmm.
And then we'll just get on the ferry, carry our guitars and our pedal boards and just bring it in and call it a day. Call an
Yeah,
Uber
yeah.
and go. I
Hmm.
don't know.
Yeah, it's tough when you're not familiar with where you're going,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and the thing is, driving through DC too, that'll make you pull your hair out as well. It's
Yep.
just
Yeah.
where
I
have you
remember
done?
one time we were going in there, first time, our first tour ever, we're going through DC, and there was it's supposed to be a 2-lane highway, and
Mm-hmm.
they close it down to a lane and a half.
Yep.
And I've got a van and trailer coming down this way, and I'm half in the other lane. And
Mm-hmm.
we were going head on with the truck, and I'm like, well, here we go.
Yep.
Like,
Oh
dude,
yeah.
I'll never forget that. That was,
Mm.
yeah, just that was nerve wracking. Yeah.
Well, did you know that one of the reasons why DC is the way it is was to confuse the British?
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, it confuses me.
Yeah, yeah. That's what their state motto, that's what their city motto should be. Confusing people since 1776, or something.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh
So
man.
true. Yeah.
But there are great clubs there. Now let me ask you about that. I've never
Mm.
performed myself in the Midwest.
Okay.
You're Wisconsin. What's it like up there? Like, because I'm sure you probably done like Minnesota,
Oh yeah.
Illinois. What are the clubs like out there?
Well, we get you have the bars,
Yep.
your pretty podunk country bars that
Mm-hmm.
you can play in. But then we have like really good, decent music venues. There's really like no in between.
Mm-hmm.
You're either playing this really small dinky place in this really small town, which if you blink, you're gonna be through it. That or you're in a big venue in a small town. If you blink, you're gonna go through it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, we actually do have a really good scene around here, especially southeastern Wisconsin stuff, because we're between Milwaukee, which is 45 minutes away,
Okay.
and Chicago, which is like an hour 20.
Oh,
So
okay. Sure. Sure.
yeah, we're in between two big major cities here, and yeah, so there's obviously got Chicago and all those awesome clubs. Milwaukee's got a good handful of clubs, but in between there's just a good handful of just good rock clubs.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool. And then I guess you get to like Minnesota or anywhere like that too. Is like St. Paul or Minneapolis or anything up
Yeah,
there?
we've played Minneapolis probably once or twice.
Mm-hmm.
Um, from what I remember, it was a bigger club that we played in the city. But we've always had our luck in the small towns outside of the city, not even suburbs.
Mm-hmm.
Like the next small town over, that town's awesome
Mm-hmm.
for some
Right,
reason.
right.
I don't know. This is the small towns. To me, it's like not a lot of bands go to the small towns. Everyone's trying to go for the city, but in the
Mm-hmm.
city, you have a lot of oversaturation from the locals and then bands that come in. So it's oversaturated and it's really hard to draw. But you go into a small town where bands don't normally go, everyone in that town's like, oh my God, there's this band coming in. We got to go see them.
Right, right,
That's
right.
exactly how it is. I mean, so
Yep,
we actually prefer to go to those small towns. I think they're better. It's more intimate.
yep.
It's just a good time.
Mhm. Right, exactly, exactly. I agree with you on that too. I
Yeah.
definitely agree with you on that. So you had mentioned that you're going to be, you're back home for a while right now. I guess you're kind of gearing yourself to head back out soon, I guess, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I go back to the day job, save up some money.
Oh,
And yeah, then we go back out. I think starting August 14th, if I'm not mistaken.
oh, good, good, good. August
Yeah,
14th, you're back out on the road again.
yeah,
And
we're back out.
coming back east, are you going to different areas this time?
This time, this one will be a full coast to coast. So we'll actually start out going east, and I think that's where our
Hmm.
Baltimore show is the later part of August.
Okay.
We'll go east. We'll go south into like North South Carolina. We'll dip into Florida, and we'll start crossing over. And then after that, I don't remember exactly.
Right, 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 right. I was
But yeah,
just,
basically we'll
yeah.
we'll basically make a big circle. I got a work conference in Las Vegas at the end of September, I believe.
Mm.
So so what's happening is basically we're touring out so I can go to this work conference. And luckily, luckily the conference is on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Hmm.
So those are normally the Monday, Tuesdays are always off on tour. And
Right.
so Wednesday, yeah, we lose a Wednesday show, but
Hmm. Right,
no
right,
no
right.
big loss. It's a Wednesday.
Well, it's a great
So
place to have a conference too, I think.
right, yeah, yeah. So it'll be good. So we'll see
Right.
how that goes.
Right. Well, great, great. Well, it's good to see. And are you going to be coming back to Morseburgers when you come?
No, this time we'll be at Zen
Oh,
West.
Zen West, of course. That's
Yes.
another 90. Well, we do a lot of stuff at Zen West as well.
Okay, yeah.
You know,
Morse, that was our first time at Morse Burgers, and that
mhm.
place is really cool, man. I didn't know what to expect going in there, but
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
different. We've all Zen West has always been when we come into
Hmm.
Baltimore, it's always Zen West, always Zen West.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so to have a different venue is actually really nice.
Yeah, Zen West is a really nice place as well. They've got a
Yeah,
lot of it's a good sized room. I mean, since you've been there, but
yeah,
it's about the same. The hall's about the same size as Morseburgers is,
yeah.
maybe not quite as long.
Mhm.
And it's a good room. It's really a good room.
Yeah,
And
and that place packs out too. Like
hmm
Nick Nick over there does a great job in promoting and everything. And yeah, he brings in the people, always has good locals. I
hmm
mean, yeah, there's always a good time at Zen West. So we're looking forward to go back there. And obviously
hmm
we got to know the owner and the sound engineer over there quite well. So it'll be good to see them too. So
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Do you know who you're playing with?
that I don't know as of now.
Okay, okay. Well, I'm sure it'll be announced soon. When
Yeah,
you
as a matter of
do.
fact, I think the announcement is coming very soon for the whole tour, actually.
Okay, good,
Yeah,
good,
since we're
good.
talking about Zen West, it's Saturday the 23rd. August 23rd is when we'll be there.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yep.
Saturday, August 23rd at Zen West. So remember that, folks. Saturday,
Yes.
August 23rd, you get to see the Almas back in
Mhm.
Baltimore here at Zen West. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, that'll be great to see you again, of course.
Yeah.
So let's backtrack a little bit more here. You
Okay.
were kind of talking about what's going on now, a little bit of band history, but let's get into the music itself.
Okay.
Everybody hates the question like, how would you describe your band? I mean, everybody hates that, so I'm not really going to ask you that,
Oh,
but
good. I hate
I am.
answering that one.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to answer you, right? But I would say, what inspired you? I mean, what made you, as when you're much younger, of course,
Mm.
what made you just want to pick up a guitar and start making noise?
Girls. No. uh,
Me too.
right? That's it. That's all there is.
Hmm.
No, actually, I was downloading music off of LimeWire
Hmm.
back in the day, pirating music, and I downloaded the AC/DC album Back in Black.
Oh,
And
sure.
then yeah, and the next thing I know, I caught myself like rocking out in my basement, like uncontrollably. I was just overtaken by the music, right?
Hmm.
And it was that moment that I was like, I want to feel like that all the time, and I want to do that.
Hmm.
And that was it. Uh, and like I just the way the music made me feel, and I don't know, I just wanted to do that. I wanted to give that to other people, and I wanted to play it.
Right, right. Well,
That
good,
that
good.
that was it, man.
Mhm.
That's what did it. And that's what still does it.
Were there any other albums in particular that inspired you, or had the same effect, or was the next step from Back in Black?
uh, I always was a big fan of Buck Cherry, like their whole early stuff, their
Hmm.
discography, because it's just that dirty type of rock and roll
Oh
that
yeah,
I've
yeah.
always liked. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's just that angsty type of rock, and that was kind of it was those two I think that really catapulted me in the style that I play now for sure.
Right. Some of their stuff is fairly similar to AC/DC from
Hmm.
what I've heard.
Yes,
Yep,
absolutely.
yep.
Yeah,
And
it's the four on the floor, big drums, and just the screaming guitars, and that's it. It's
mhm.
a simple formula, but it works and feels good. So
Sure, sure, sure. I mean, and especially too when you're young like that. I mean, you're absorbing so much stuff just like a
yeah,
sponge, and
yeah,
it's amazing. I can remember, when I was, I guess in middle school, because when I was in middle school, it was was eighth going into eighth grade was the summer of '81, the year MTV came out.
okay, yeah,
And I mean, it was like every day learn a new band. You're seeing all these bands you'd never heard of before, and you're
right,
really getting into all this stuff. And that was really, the thing that kind of inspired me to get into it, but
yeah.
nobody cares about me because we're talking about you today.
No
So
way. Yeah, like it was crazy. I was a late bloomer though. I'm 34, and so all like everyone in high school, they're listening to Panic at the Disco,
oh,
all
right,
this
right,
stuff,
right.
Green Day, all that kind of stuff. And me, I was the old school head, man. I just
Hmm.
loved Black Sabbath, AC/DC, all that stuff. I had older parents, so my dad would always listen to like 50s, 60s doo wop rock
Oh
and roll.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that was my thing. And then I listened to like the 70s, discovered the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And so I never got really into the 90s grunge stuff. I kind of just stopped. The
Right.
80s, I hung there for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, Buck Cherry and some of the newer bands that had similarities to the older style of rock, I gravitated to. So I'm kind of an old head in a young body, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, old soul, you know.
That is true. That's true. I guess that's why I like doing the old school thing,
Mhm.
tour a lot, meet people, shake hands instead of doing the TikTok thing.
Oh yeah. Well, that's true. Yeah, there's a lot to be said for meeting people face to face,
Yeah.
shaking hands, just getting a chance to speak to people. And a
Yeah.
lot of that's, I've had a lot of guests that are, in my age group, and I came up, in the 80s. And, back in those days, we didn't have the social media. And in order to get people to your show, you had to go to the club and give out flyers, you know,
Yeah.
no two ways about it. And, if you
Hmm.
wanted to play, the second part of that is you better have been out there handing out flyers, and that club owner had better have seen you doing that.
Yeah.
But something kind of died in the early 2000s when social media started taking that role.
Yeah.
You'd walk into a club with flyers then, and people looked at you like you had three heads. What's this? It's a flyer. We're playing.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Yeah.
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 Um,
It's tough. It's tough. No.
it really is. It really is. So I'm looking at your website too here,
Hmm.
and boy, you can outfit the entire family. I think you could have a month's worth of shirts without wearing the same one twice from you all. It's
Yeah,
great.
you could blame Crystal for that one. We
Hmm.
do have a lot of exclusive shirts on our website that are only exclusive to the website.
Hmm.
Yeah, Crystal likes to design a bunch of different things, and she puts it up there. That's her thing.
Oh, they're nice looking shirts and everything
Yeah,
too. You have and men's and women's and tank tops and short sleeves.
and
You have
hoodies.
some hoodies. Yeah, those are
Yep.
nice looking too. And you also have you had your 2024 UK tour. What was that like going over to the UK?
Oh, that was an experience, man. It was great. I never thought that I would be playing rock and roll in another country,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So to do that it was mind blowing, we played the Troubadour, the famous Troubadour in London, and
Oh, nice.
to be standing on that stage where Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix, where they would hang out
Hmm.
and stuff. It was awesome.
Wonderful.
Yeah, of
Wonderful.
course we went to the iconic. Took the walk across the street by Abbey Road Studios there.
Hmm.
Abbey Road. We did the iconic walk there, so that was cool. We saw Stonehenge. Yeah, it was just a really really good time. And let me tell you, the scene over there is so much different than around here.
Yeah,
Like
how
at
so?
like the Troubadour, we went and played, and first there was nobody there. All right,
Hmm.
not a single soul in there. And the guy's like, "Well, I guess you're playing." I'm like, "Cool." So we go ahead, start playing, and all of a sudden, 40 people walk into this place, just right off the street.
Hmm.
They hear music, and they came down and just stayed for the show.
Wonderful.
And
Hey,
I've
that's
never,
neat.
yeah, and that's how it was everywhere.
Hmm.
Every place we went to, if there wasn't a lot of people there, people heard the music, they came in, they stayed, and they watched it. Which that doesn't happen.
No, no.
Around that does not happen around here. And so I was just mind blown, and people were super receptive. And once they heard, oh, you're from America, they were like, oh my God, what the hell are you doing here? I'm like, I don't know. I'm playing music. That's what I'm doing. You know? No, it was such a good time, and just it's so similar to the United States in a
Hmm.
sense, but so drastically different.
Exactly. I've heard
It's
that
just
from a lot of people.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I loved it. I can't wait to go back. We had plans to go back this year.
Hmm. Well, good.
But finances have put a slight halt on that.
It's
It
it's
is
not cheap.
kind
It's
of
not cheap,
no,
and
it's not.
and then it's also too you got to make sure it's a stable environment to be traveling overseas as well, which can
Right.
you never know um when things happen too. So
Exactly.
yep.
Yeah. So it's
So
it's probably best we'll push it off to next year.
right. Have you ever done Canada? I mean, you're pretty close to the north.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually back in 2019, one of our first tours, we went to Canada. So
Oh.
that was really cool.
Hmm.
I unfortunately have trouble getting into Canada
Huh.
because I partied too hard back in the day, and I have a OWI. And in the
Oh.
eyes of Canada, that's a felony, and they won't let felons into the country.
Oh, okay. Is that like a impaired driving?
It was operating while intoxicated. Basically, I took a nap in my car. It was negative 7 degrees out,
Mm-hmm.
and it was too cold. I was too drunk to drive, so I said bar was closed. I'm like, well, I'm going to sit in my warm car,
Mm-hmm.
warm up, sober up, drive home.
Right.
Well, that's illegal, and that was it.
No, no kidding. That's a shame. That's a
Yeah.
shame.
So
Yep.
and so yeah. So I don't drink anymore. I've been
Oh,
sober
right,
for 8
right.
years now.
Mhm.
Actually, soon after that, I quit. But yeah, still can't get into Canada. After supposedly after 5 years, they're kind of turn the other way and say, yeah, you're good. But
Mhm.
then COVID hit and they changed it to 10.
Oh,
So
wow.
I still have 2 more years to go.
No kidding. Wow. Okay. Well,
So, but yeah, so I don't go into Canada.
you're young. It'll be here before you know it. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
so great. Well, look, Frank, I appreciate you coming and joining us today to tell us about your tour. And it was great. I mean, I tell you, folks, you got to get out and see the Almas when they come to Zen West. And then you said it's going to be August 23rd, you believe, right?
Yeah, I got my handy dandy phone here. Yeah, August 23rd.
August 23rd at Zen West, folks. Get out and
Yes.
see them. It's well worth the trip to come see them. They're a great band. I heard them at Morseburgers the other week, and I just got to tell you, we've been playing their song on. And the name of the song is
All fucked up.
all fucked up. So check out the song. I do play it on the show, and get out and see them. Frank, thanks again for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Michael. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys spinning our track and everything. And it means a lot to the independent artist.
Yeah, well, anytime. We appreciate it. Folks, we'll be back right after these words. You're listening to The Back of the Rack, the Michael Spedden Show on 97underground.com, Baltimore's Pure Rock Worldwide. And we've just been speaking with Frank Slifka from the Almas. August 23rd at Zen West. Be there. Folks, thanks again for tuning into our interview here with Frank Slifka from the Almas. Looking forward to seeing them back in the Baltimore area on August 23rd at Zen West. So definitely come out and catch them. You're definitely not going to want to miss this band. They're really great. And again, I caught them at Morseburgers last month, and they did a hell of a job. So, folks, remember, The Back of the Rack is on every Tuesday, or actually every Monday now. I caught myself from 2 to 4 p.m. Don't forget to download the free app. You can listen to us anytime, anywhere. And don't forget our YouTube page, youtube.com/at97underground. Michael Spedden. Hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in and listening, and hope you enjoyed today's interview. Remember, The Back of the Rack is on every Monday from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern, and our replay is every Wednesday morning from 2 to 4 a.m. Eastern Time on 97underground.com, Baltimore's Pure Rock Worldwide. You can download our free app and listen anytime, anywhere. Also, don't forget our YouTube channel. Hit the like and subscribe button and allow for notifications so you'll be the first to know whenever new episodes air. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Log on and crank it up. The station your mother warned you about. 97underground.com.